This morning on Today's Family, sibling rivalry. It's normal for brothers and sisters to squabble, but if you're at your wit's end, there are things that you can do to help them get along better. Parenting expert AMY McCREADY is today's mom contributor and a founder of PositiveParentSolutions.com. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Natalie.
This sibling rivalry can really get out of hand sometimes. Why is it important to start from the very beginning to make sure you're setting the right foundation, the right guidelines?
Well, you know, all siblings are going to fight from time to time, but if we're not careful, that normal fighting and competition can really evolve into deep-seating rivalry that can, you know, last into their adult years.
Lifetime,
so we want to get on it really early.
And you say one of the things that parents do, and maybe we don't realize that we're doing this, and I think a lot of parents will relate when they hear this, is using labels, whether or not we're actually using them or not. But what do you mean by that?
Well, labels promote sibling rivalry. So sometimes the labels are very obvious. Like if mom calls you the go-getter or the athletic one, then I just assume I'm the opposite. Or if she jokingly refers to me as her problem child, well then you can feel really superior as the well-behaved one, but it creates a rivalry. But sometimes those labels are unspoken, like the go-to kid, and that's the one that you go to when you want something done quickly and without a fuss.
Right.
So the go-to kid feels very important and capable, but you know, how does that leave everybody else feeling?
So you got to be really careful in what you say, but also what you don't say. That really can fuel that. And one of the things too, that you see, one of the labels is that parents tend to feed into is if you overprotect one child from another, the other child becomes the aggressor and the protected child becomes the victim. And I find with my little one, sometimes I'm protecting him too much. I know a lot of parents can relate to that.
Absolutely. And when we kind of jump in and comfort the victim or the injured party with hugs and kisses and oh, poor babies, it really reinforces that being a victim is a great way to get attention, and they'll repeat it over and over again.
And then the older child feels like he's always getting the blame or she's always getting the blame for doing something perhaps that they didn't even do.
And there's even some power in that. So there becomes power in being the aggressor or the bully, and that'll be repeated as well.
But if they're hurt, I mean, you do have to comfort them a little, right?
Yes, absolutely. Tend to them, make sure they're okay. You can empathize. You know, gosh, I'm sorry that you got into a scuffle with your brother today, but just be careful about how much.
Overdoing it. Okay. And you also say, as a parent, it's important to stay out of the fight.
Yes.
Let them resolve it. But if they're like fist pounding, biting each other, as my older sister and I used to do, it would get very physical. How do you keep from not getting involved?
Well, if it's getting physical, you're going to have to intervene. But for all the rest of the fights, the most helpful thing you can do is just stay out of it, because that gives them an opportunity to work it out on their own, and you just need to let them know up front the tattletale department is closed. So when you guys are fighting, I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to let you guys work it out. And you can even just listen from a distance from the other room, and you'll be surprised at how quickly they start to dwindle.
And you say intervene only as a mediator. So how do you help them resolve it?
So you're not going to be judge and jury. You're the mediator, helping them find a solution. So you're going to bring them together and say, okay, let's hear both sides of the story, but have them start with an I feel statement. I feel angry because, I feel hurt because. Because that helps them kind of own their feelings and know that feelings are okay, but you can't take them out on your brother.
Right.
And then you say, all right, what ideas do you guys have to solve this problem? And let them come up with the solutions.
That is great. Hoping that they can.
Hoping they can.
That. Right,
and if they can't, you can offer up a solution or two yourself.
And then you say the last tip is referring to siblings all being in the same boat. What do you mean by that?
Well, if they can't work it out, then it's time to put them all in the same boat. That means everybody gets the same consequence. So it doesn't matter who started it or who did what to whom.
Nobody gets to play the we.
Exactly, exactly. If you're all involved and you can't agree on a solution, then it's time for everybody to go in the same boat, and everybody loses the privileges.
All right, great advice, Amy McCready. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Natalie.